Good morning! My name is Jennifer and welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. Today is day 2 of my celebration for 700 subscribers, which is 7 books in 7 days. I'm reading a book every day, posting a video about it every day. And today we're reading The Birds by Aristophanes, unless I change my mind. There is a version on LibriVox, read by the LibriVox volunteers. Sometimes I find reading, especially like ancient works, it's comforting to have people reading it with you. Hopefully it is the same translation. I couldn't find any information about what translation I have. I'm having a cup of coffee with some ginger in it. My main goal today is to go to some thrift shops. I had so much trouble saying that. Some thrift stop. Go to some thrift shop. I'm stuck in a trap. I would like to go to some thrift shops because I want to go get a few things, a few home goods. I also want to get some shoes that are not broken. I want to get a rug. I want to get a little bit of art if there's anything that speaks to me. A few other things. I want to get like a cookie jar or some kind of jug to use as a compost bin for the bathroom. I have these compostable makeup wipes, and there's just like some other things that are compostable that I use in the bathroom, and currently I'm walking all the way around to the kitchen to dispose of them. So I'd like to get something nice for the bathroom. And the other thing that I really want to do is paint the cabinet of my bathroom. I want to touch that up and make it look nice and pretty. Let's start reading. So this isn't the same translation at all, and the translation that's on LibriVox is very like poetic. I don't want to read that. So I'm just gonna read the copy that I have and proceed. So I have been reading The Birds over on the couch, and I've gotten to page 32. And I had no idea that this is where the phrase or the like term cloud cuckoo land comes from. What's going on? So there's these 2 human guys, and they have these birds with them that are supposed to be like their guides. And they're looking for this bird named Epops. I'm not 100% sure why they're doing that. I'm still a little confused about why they were trying to find this bird. But when they do, they're like, you should create your own town, because they are looking for like their ideal city, these 2 men. And then they're like, we have an idea, why don't you make your own bird city? And then all of these birds assemble, and they're like, you guys are more of the gods than the gods are, because birds have been around for like longer than the earth has been around. They basically convince them to make this town called Cloud Cuckoo Land. And at this point, there's just like a bunch of people arriving, and it's a comedy, so it's like, you know, jokes and stuff. Poet has arrived, and the poet keeps saying that like all poets are slaves of the muses according to Homer. He says that like twice because he's like, I'm a slave, and they're like, what? You look fine, although I mean you're a little unkempt. And then it's like, oh no, I'm a slave to the muses. I'm at a part now where there is a dealer in decrees who's trying to sell them like laws. There's jokes in here that are So dumb. Like, one of the characters, like, literally shits himself when he sees the bird for the first time. So this is one of the lines. "Not I, by Apollo, unless they agree with me, as the little ape of an armorer agreed with his wife, not to bite me, nor pull me by the balls, nor shove things into my..." Euripides, bending over. "Do you mean this?" I have no idea how to say this guy's name, but it's like Pistheatrus? "No, I mean my eye." It's going fine. It is a goofy time, but obviously I'm not in this world. Like, I'm not a Greek watching this play, so there's definitely some things that are going over my head. I will say the one thing about this translation that's like really confusing me is that they say corn a lot. Like, there's reference to corn a lot, and I'm like, what fucking corn? Like, corn is from the Americas. I'm like, do you just mean like grass seeds? Like, why are we calling it corn? That's the one thing that's kind of taking me out. I think now I'm going to take a little bit of a break from reading. It looks like I am a little over halfway. Here's my breakfast. It's a bagel with cream cheese and then with garlicky kale, basically. We are back from the thrift store. It was really hectic and stressful, to be perfectly honest. We went to 3 thrift stores. The first one we went to, everything was really disorganized and there wasn't anything, they didn't have anything that we wanted. They also had a couple of artworks. They had this one of a baby in bed crying and reaching out. This, you can't see super well, but this was like maybe a pencil sketch or something that I actually thought was kind of cool. It just didn't really make that much sense for our house. This artwork was also really cool, but just way too big. At a different thrift store, we also saw this. We saw this. That was the art that we did not buy. We did not buy any art. We got shoes. These are the shoes that I got. They're comfy and practical for work. And we got, it has been repaired from a crack, and it was $15. So, was it overpriced? I don't know. But let me get these stickers off of it. This we found at the second thrift store that we went to. The second thrift store that we went to doesn't have any books, which I still think is the weirdest thing. It's obviously, it's got like a hole for like a ladle. And this I'm gonna put above our toilet tank, and then we can put things in it. It also fits the theme of our bathroom, which is green and gold. Then I also got a bunch of books. Surprise! We get a book haul. Aren't you happy that I'm doing 7 books in 7 days for 700 subscribers? So I got this weird one. Exploring New Ethics for Survival, The Voyage of the Spaceship Beagle. It seems weird. It seems like something that I would be interested in. This unusual and important book combines an ingenious appraisal of what man must do in order to survive on Earth with the imaginary story of a spaceship's fantastic journey. Garrett Hardin sees the source of the current ecological crisis in the excessive demands that too many individuals make on limited resources. His unique approach covers population control. Yikes. That's usually a path to eugenics, but, you know. Pollution control, agricultural reforms, and the problems of private property, as it shows what far-reaching changes we must bring about in politics, economics, and ethics. I'm usually interested in these kinds of, like, alternative ways of living books, so I'm definitely interested in that. Then I picked up The Crucible by Arthur Miller. I picked it up because I read The Hounding through NetGalley. It is out in August 2025. Really, really liked it. And it said that The Hounding was The Crucible meets The Virgin Suicides. So I wanted to read The Crucible. Then I got a book from D.H. Lawrence because twice now I have covered books from D.H. Lawrence in my public domain video. So last year it was Lady Chatterley's Lover, and this year it was something about a cock, and it's about Jesus or something. So anyway, this is called Kangaroo. Richard and Harriet Summers leave exhausted post-war Europe for a new and freer world. In Australia, they meet and become involved with Kangaroo, the awesome leader of a political group called the Diggers. The consequences are disastrous. In this partly autobiographical novel, Lawrence examines his political position and explores the sources of power in individuals, in marriage, and society as a whole. You know that I love a political group, a little secret society kind of thing. So that's really what drew me to this, and the fact that it's by D.H. Lawrence. Haven't ever read D.H. Lawrence before. I picked it out because it says garden, and I was like, love a garden. It's called In the City Was a Garden. And when I opened it up, it is a housing project chronicle by Henry Krause. It's from 1951. It looks like it is about a housing project. It says, to the early settlers at Garden City, the name of this San Pedro housing project was a source of mockery. The homes were opened while the building rubble was still on the ground, while huge mounds of excavation dirt cluttered the courts. And with construction on adjacent sections going on for months thereafter, the dispirited migrants ended by doubting that plan and order would ever dominate the chaos. I'm just very intrigued. I've never read about a building project before. This was purchased through Liberty Book Club, Inc., and it was sent to Donald Brown in Oregon, and now I have it. And then I just picked up a book that is entering the public domain in 2025, and that is The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner. I didn't say that I was like, wow, I really think I should read this. And I've heard it's actually quite a challenging read, but I couldn't pass it up. I just couldn't pass it up. Never read anything by William Faulkner. Now I have this. I bought Justine by Lawrence Durrell a long time ago in the internet era. I was on Bookstagram 2018, maybe? I was feral with how many books I was saving. This is one of the books that I was just most interested in during that time. I don't know if it had gone through a little resurgence or what, but I finally bought it and I can finally read it. Don't know anything about what it's about. The time is the eve of the Second World War. The place is Alexandria, an Egyptian city that once housed the world's greatest library and whose inhabitants are still dedicated to knowledge. But for the obsessed and pure-blind character... Is that how you say that? I've said that twice recently. Pure-blind characters in this mesmerizing first novel of the Alexandria Quartet. The pursuit of knowledge leads to no library, only to the bedrooms in which each seeks to know and possess the other. Oh God, I'm a little worried about that. You don't even know. I probably said something aloud, like in the midst of people that I don't know, when I saw this book. I saw No Time to Spare by Ursula K. Le Guin. I read this book because somebody commented recommending this book. So I started reading this during my 500 subscriber celebration. I did a reading vlog where I sample your recommendations, and I started reading this. I finished reading this through a library rental, and I wasn't going to pick it up because I was like, oh, I don't need it. From a thrift store for $1? For sure I'm going to get it. So I'm absolutely excited to have this now. I got The Creation of the Universe. This is an old science book. Here is a fascinating description of the nature and destiny of matter and energy, which embodies the latest concepts of nuclear science, astronomy, and cosmology. And when I opened it up, there's diagrams all over this book. And I was like, oh my God, yes. Genuinely so cool and exciting. So I had to pick that up. Oh my God. And then I got The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente. I have been wanting to read this for years. And I have tried to get it from my library, and I don't know what has happened every time, but every time something has gone wrong. I'm so happy to have this. I've been wanting to read Catherine M. Valente. I read her very different book, Space Opera, and this was recommended by some booktuber I followed probably like 10 years ago, like eons ago. I followed this booktuber, and she loved this. Anyway, so I've been wanting to read it since then. So again, thrilled to have seen that in the children's section. Also in the children's section, I cannot believe this. I literally read this yesterday. That's The Pearl by John Steinbeck. And again, I'm just so thrilled to have this book. That's it. That's what I got. Now I'm gonna put some samosas in the oven because we did stop by at Trader Joe's. Hello, I just finished reading The Birds by Aristophanes. I don't know what the fuck I just read, if I'm being completely honest. It ends with like a wedding, but I have no idea why or what the significance is. Like, why did it end the way it ended? I do not feel satisfied. I am confused, and I don't know what the point of any of that was. Okay, he is proclaimed king and presented with Zeus's specter. By sovereignty, a vision of loveliness. What the fuck? What? What? Okay, I gotta go back. I don't see anything. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I did not know who was getting married, but I guess Pistheterus was getting married. So it's like really, really fast. The last scene is like a messenger gives like a thing. It says, sorry, I'm giving away the ending. Apologies, this has been out for a really long time, but also the ending doesn't really matter at all. He is entering with his bride at his side. Oh, and it's the previous scene with Heracles and Poseidon. They like discuss the whole thing. Okay, that was really confusing to me. I really, really wanted to like this. I am underwhelmed. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Basically, it's about, I don't know what happened to the other guy. That's the other thing that I just don't really understand. Like, I got to a point where like I realized the only person that we were talking to was Pistheterus. He had a friend, Euripides, and I don't know what happened to Euripides. And Epops, like I don't know what happened to those guys. Oh, he departs. So I guess he just never comes back. And then it's all about Pistheterus, which I didn't realize it was just going to be about that guy. I liked the first half, maybe, and then it just falls off the rails. I'm sure it was better and more entertaining if you were of the time, which I should look up when this is from, because I don't actually know. So The Birds was originally performed in 414 BC, and it won second place in a play battle. And I did read earlier that the first place play has been lost to time, but The Birds has remained. Slightly underwhelming book for today. I have also been reading, I'm so excited for myself, the second volume of Cardcaptor Sakura. I started reading this last year. At the beginning of the year, I did a video that was reading your manga suggestions. And I had such a fun time reading Cardcaptor Sakura, but I didn't continue on with the series. Anyway, I decided I wanted something really light and girly and fun, so I started that as well. Everybody's fed. We're going to bed for the night, and I need to close out this video. So another successful day. I finished reading The Birds by Aristophanes. Not exactly what I was hoping for, I suppose. It was fine. I don't know what I was expecting. I ended up giving this 3 stars. I'm happy that I finally read it. And for tomorrow, I have a couple options. I'm really considering reading The Crucible by Arthur Miller. I got this at the thrift store today. Did I explain that I'm super red because I just wiped my face? I'm incredibly red because I just wiped my face. I'm also really considering reading The Loved One tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, and my husband needs to go to the gym tomorrow, so I will have plenty of time. So I am going to go ahead to my comments. Oh my god, I got so many subscribers today. I think I got 6 subscribers today, so we're at 695. Like I said yesterday, I am filming these ahead of time so that I made sure that I had the time to do this, but we're so freaking close. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one by Megan Stanbridge from a couple weeks ago when I had my bookshelf reorganization vlog and tour. She says, I've only organized by author last name, and then I tried the rainbow shelf. It hurt my heart to separate series, so back to author last name for me. It is annoying when you add new books, though. I like how you organize your shelves, especially the stack based on vibes. How have I been feeling about my bookshelf reorganization scheme so far? I had to take all of my books down to film for the year-end wrap-up. In the course of that, just dismantled everything that I had done previously. I haven't put anything back. Part of it is because my general fiction and my classics, I think even my science fiction, is ordered by a publication date, and girl, I don't know what the publication date is, so I have to go and flip to the beginning of every book and then look at the books that I have in there, and then look. And anyway, so there are flaws, but definitely it's much, much less painful than when I was doing it by author's last name, because then I really had to scoot every single book down, and by the time I got like 3 shelves in, I was like moving huge chunks of books every time, and it was just not pleasurable at all. Oh my god. I put some lemon seeds in here. Sorry, this is like the most random thing in the world. I put some lemon seeds in here, god, weeks ago, and it looks like they have all just come up suddenly. So anyway, I'm probably gonna have to put this in the light and water it. That is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider sharing it with a friend you think would also enjoy it. Consider liking and subscribing. Thank you all so much. It's so cool. I'm very excited. I'm even more excited today that I'm like doing this at the right time to see that we're at 695, because I was like, oh, I'm doing this so far ahead of time. It's stupid. Like, I was really having a lot of self-doubt. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.